Okay, this morning I'm making my chicken and dumplings, so I'm going to bring y'all along for that recipe. And that's what the construction crew wanted today. They do not eat healthy, but they're out there sweating and working off their chicken and dumplings. They want chicken and dumplings, biscuits, and green beans, so that's what they're getting. And I'm gonna bring you along to show you how I make my dumplings. So first of all, I have got 4 chicken breasts in here with the skin on bone in. They have more flavor, an onion, salt, pepper, carrot, and I put some fresh thyme in here. So I've just let this cook for a couple of hours. I did put 1 thing of chicken broth, like the carton of chicken broth, and the rest water. And this broth will be what I use to put the dumplings in here in a few minutes. So that's how I started that. Now I'm going to make the dough for the dumplings. Okay, I have got my dough mixed up. I used 2½ cups of self-rising white lily flour. I used a fourth of a stick of butter and about 2 tablespoons of Crisco and a cup and a fourth of buttermilk. Just whole, no fat-free stuff, low fat, whole fat buttermilk. And here's my dough. So I just mixed it until, first of all, I mixed my butter. I thought I was filming it. That's why I don't have my video of that. But anyway, I wasn't filming it. So I mixed all the flour and the butter and the Crisco together first. And then I mixed in the buttermilk. Once I had all that crumbled in together, I just mixed in the buttermilk. So this is my dough. And I'm going to roll this out. And I'll show y'all how I do that. And then cut them. I've got the broth ready to put them in. So I'll show you that in just a second. So these are ready to be rolled out. So I'll do that in a second. Okay, now I'm going to show y'all how I roll these out. I've got a little bit of my... Okay. Put you some flour on your surface. You can make these as thick or thin as you want. They're going to fluff up because they have the baking powder and baking soda in them, so they'll fluff up even if you make them really thin. And now I'm just going to take a knife and cut them. Okay, they're ready to go in the pan. Okay, so I've got this is the broth, what I cooked the chicken in, and I added 1 can of cream of celery soup, and I pretty much drained it. It's got a little bit of the thyme left in there. So I'm going to let this come to a rolling boil, and then I'm going to put my dumplings in. You have to kind of stir it while you're adding the dumplings. So once it comes to a rolling boil, I'll show you. It's beginning to. And I want to get a little, this is what I'm going to use to separate the dumplings with as I put them in here, because you don't want them to stick together, so you kind of just separate them with something as you're putting them in. Time to start adding the dumplings. So I just break them off a little bit. I'm not going to put that whole string in there. You'll see them, when they're done, they kind of float to the top. There, look. You try to drop them in where you see the water, the broth boiling. Get done quicker. So since the pot's getting full of dumplings, I need to kind of, this is what I need my little, move those down into that hot boiling broth so they'll cook. You have to be gentle with them so you don't tear them up because they're kind of tender. Basically what these are biscuits in broth. would stick together. Those were sticking together because they were not completely done. So you want them to, when they're done, they would stick together. Dough. This will thicken up too because of the flour in these dumplings. It will thicken up as they, I'll turn them down on low once they're completely done, and then it'll start thickening up in about 30 minutes or so. By the time I get them to the job, to my customers, they will be ready to eat. Dumplings are better if they sit for an hour or so. I like to make them before church and turn the burner off. When you get home from church, they're perfect. So for a couple of hours, normally, they'll soak up this juice and become good and thick and creamy. Okay, so all I have to do now is add my chicken to that. And I'll bring you back and let you see when I add the chicken to it. Okay, a trick I've learned from Unimaze is to take your hot food, because it's cooler. Will keep hot food hot just like it keeps cold food. So you wrap the food in towels. And I've already tried this twice. And when I get to my destination, it'll be just as hot as it was when I took it off the stove. Works great. Okay, my dumplings are ready. They still need to get a little bit thicker. You see how soupy they are? The longer they sit here, they'll continue to thicken up. That's why I like to make them and let them sit for a few hours. So I'm going to pack these up, wrap them in a towel so they'll stay hot in this cooler I have right here. I've got my green beans in here wrapped in a towel. And I'm gonna wrap these in a towel and I'll be ready to go.